Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have never been more excited to film a video. I just went ahead and messaged all my favorite booktubers tonight and I already have 3 responses, which is so crazy and exciting. I'm totally fangirling right now. I wanted to sit down and first and foremost introduce you to the ladies I messaged. So I messaged 7 girlies, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to read 7 books in this video because I usually read 7 books in a whole month. So I think I might split it up in 2 parts. I'm going to go in order by like who responded first. So the first girl I messaged was Kendall Reads. I'll insert her channel here. I've been watching her probably since her channel started, really, and her and I have the same birthday, August 2nd. We're Leo girls and birthday twins. What the fuck? She is hilarious and she's so relatable. She's definitely my favorite YouTuber, period. Anytime one of her videos come out, I watch it in like 0.2 seconds. I sent each of the girls 2 books to choose from, which are books that I know they love. So the 2 books that I sent Kendall are The 7-Year Slip, I'll insert the photo here, and Binding 13 because she has been absolutely feral for Binding 13. She's reading the whole series right now. And I'm not gonna lie, her reactions have piqued my interest. So yeah, and Kendall did pick Binding 13. So I knew she was going to. I'm really nervous, to be honest. I'm not much of a crier when it comes to books, and I know Kendall cries at like every single book she reads. That's not to say I don't feel. Like, I'm very emotional and kind of sensitive. I feel like Binding 13 in this whole series could make me cry. I don't know. It depends. I then got a message back from Bailey's Bookshelf, and I freaking love her videos. She has such a positive and vibrant energy to her. But I gave Bailey the option to pick between Our Infinite Fates, which is a new 5-star read of hers, and Nocticadia, because I associate Nocticadia with Bailey for some reason. She has recommended that book a lot on her channel, and every time she talks about it, I'm like, really want to read that shit. And this was her response. So Bailey, this made me laugh. She had her husband choose because she couldn't pick, and he picked Nocticadia. And I'm so excited. I was kind of hoping she would pick Nocticadia because I'm pretty sure it is a teacher student, and if you know, you know, Arya and Ezra, that's where my lore started. Okay, I did ship them, and you know what? Then I got a response from Jency Reads. I love her channel so much. Her home and her library is everything I want. And I was scrolling through her Goodreads to see what some of her 5-star reads are, and I sent her Yoke by Mary H.K. Choi and Lightlark by Alex Astor, 2 very different books, but those were both books that are on my physical TBR, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna choose these because the other ones have been on my Kindle so far, and I'm still trying to make a dent in my physical TBR. She said, oh, that is so fun. Yoke was such a surprise because it touched on some pretty heavy topics, but somehow wasn't sad. I usually avoid sad, real life type books, but the writing of this one was really nice. And she said, but I think I'm gonna pick Lightlark. I'm totally in support of that because I'm in a huge fantasy mood always, and I have been wanting to read Lightlark for a while. So those are the books that I will be reading in this video. I'm gonna read them in order of who messaged me first, just because I'm indecisive and I will not know what to read first. I am so freaking excited. I don't know when I'm going to have the time to start reading Binding 13, but I'm hoping it will be within the next few days. Anyway, I will see you guys when I see you. Hopefully I start Binding 13 soon. Fingers crossed. You guys, we have unlocked a new location, my bathroom. It has been several days since I last saw you. Forgive me, my explanations for things is gonna be so shit, and I also have to hurry because I do have class at 10 and I want to get Starbucks before. But I am on page 182 of Binding 13, chapter 18. That is 31% into the book. Also, look at my Kindle case. I got this from Paperback Honey's Etsy page. I can link it down below in the pop socket I just got off of Amazon. Anyway, I need to do my hair super fast. I'm so sick and tired of my hair. I wish I knew what to do with it every day. I'm really, really liking the book so far, which Kendall will be happy to hear. I have not been this excited to pick up a book in a while. Not a whole lot is going on, but I'm loving it. I'm the type of reader who does not need like a super crazy plot. I love character studies. In this first book, Binding 13, we're following Shannon and Johnny. Johnny is a rugby player, and Shannon has just transferred to this new school after being severely bullied at her last school. And you're kind of just following their day-to-day lives, but we're getting a little bit of their backstory, and you just get to hang out with them in their friend group. And I am so excited for the found family that is to be in this series because I already love all of our characters for the most part. I'm not a huge fan of, like, I don't know, Bella, but I don't know if Bella is like a big part of the series. I can't remember. I know a lot of people don't like Lizzie, which I can totally see. But as of right now, I don't mind her, but I'm sure it only gets worse. So, you know, we'll see. Again, I'm not like super far into the book. It feels like I am, but the book is like 600 pages. So, okay, there's my hair. I'm just gonna let it be. I'll probably put in my hoops, and I want to do just a little bit of like brows. Anyway, I really love Johnny and Shannon. Both of them are super cute. I love how awkward they are together. It just feels so real and honest for like what a high school relationship is like. And like as of right now in the book, they're not together, but I know they're going to be, obviously, because this is the book following their relationship. I am super curious to see more of Shannon's family life because right now we kind of know her family just sucks. Well, more so her dad sucks. I have a feeling we're gonna get some really deep backstories, or just like shit's gonna go down with her dad, and I'm really nervous. I feel like the family stuff always gets me because she can't escape it. This video is gonna be like mild spoilers just because I don't know when to shut up. So if you don't want to know anything about any of the books I'm gonna be reading, do not watch. But if you've already read Binding 13, I will be talking about it in some detail. I'm obviously not going to give anything away, but all of this stuff you learn within the first like 50 to 100 pages of the book. So Johnny and his injury is so frustrating because he just needs to not play rugby and just get better, but he won't. He's so stubborn, but like I get it. It's his whole life and pretty much his whole persona. So I understand his unwillingness to just give it up, even though I really do think he's gonna regret that down the line, and this could really affect how he plays in the future. But I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say for now. I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm not super far into the book because it is 600 pages, but I am really enjoying it. Every minute that I'm not reading this, I'm thinking about it. That is all I have as an update for the time being. I am hoping I can read more tonight. I'm gonna have a really busy week/weekend, so I don't know how much I'll talk to you, but I will definitely update when there's something worth updating about, obviously. But Kendall, you did good. I think this is gonna ruin my life. I think this series in general is just gonna ruin my life, but we'll see. I have updates for you guys. I have gotten a significant way through Binding 13. I'm on page 440. I have lots of thoughts. Most of them are good. I'm actually really enjoying this book. This is only the first book I'm reading for this vlog, and I feel like it's already been so long. I guess just to get it out of the way, a few things that have been like bugging me about this book, and not even really bugging me, but I just have found like really silly, is Shannon and her size. Like, there was a scene where Shannon was trying to jump up on one of Johnny's bar stools and she like couldn't because it was too tall. Like, I'm sorry, I think she's 5 foot and I'm 5'3". I'm pretty sure, but I don't feel like I'm like tiny. Just the fact that her size has been mentioned in like every chapter of this book so far, it's just funny. It isn't really bugging me all that much. I just really, every time I hear it, I'm like, oh boy, here we go again. And there was literally a line where Shannon was like, I'm not like other girls. Like, literally, word for word, it was like, well, I'm not like other girls. And I was like, what the fuck? Again, it doesn't really bug me. I just think it's funny. But I do really love Johnny. I think he's a sweetie, and I understand their hesitance to be together, but it is kind of just like, okay. As someone who's a go-getter, like if I want something, I'm gonna go after it. This is kind of like, can you guys just like figure it out? Shannon's home life is like making me ill. Actually having a hard time reading the parts that mention like her dad and stuff. I do really feel for this girl. In her position, as a kid, she's a kid. As someone that young, you have to grow up much faster than you should have to. And all the decisions she's having to make, every thought that's going through her head, I'm like, oh, you poor girl. So I love Joey and Aoife, and actually more than Joey and Aoife, I love Claire and Gibbsy. It is tough to see Johnny with this very luxurious life because he does have everything. He has 2 parents who love him very much. He has the big house, all of the clothes, all of the nice luxuries that Shannon does not. And it is a little hard to watch because that is tough when you feel like you have nothing and you're watching someone who has everything complain about the great things that they have. And obviously Johnny does not know what Shannon is going through. I want to give Shannon a big hug, honestly, even though she's not real. You guys. Oh my god. So I just finished Finding 13. I feel really empty on the inside, actually. The way this book ended. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just want to read the next book, but I also think I need to like stare at a wall for a while. I never cry at books, but I genuinely sat there when I finished and I just started crying. I was like, okay, I didn't cry when I was like reading it, but then I finished the book and immediately the tears just started. How am I supposed to just go into Nocticadia from here? Yeah. I don't even know what to say. I think I'm just gonna have to get back to you guys. finished Finding 13, right? And that was 2 days ago now. And I have been thinking about it ever since. I did start Nocticadia, as you guys saw, and I'm only on page 50. I didn't realize Nocticadia is another 600-page book. I would not have chosen to read these two back to back, but here I am. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I do not give star ratings because it stresses me out. If you guys don't know, my favorite book ever is Daisy Jones and the Six. And I have been thinking of Binding 13 similarly to how I have thought about Daisy Jones and the Six. Like, for a book to consume me to this level, like in the car, every song I was listening to was relating to Johnny and Shannon. Or I would find a way to relate it to Johnny and Shannon. I'd be like, oh my God. And I like literally started tearing up in the car. And then I started playing Johnny and Shannon's playlists from the book and immediately just lost it. I think it's safe to say that the Boys of Tommen series is going to be God tier. Yeah. I'm so picky, by the way, with the books I consider God tier. I can count on my hands the books that I consider on my God tier list, okay? Like, here's the thing, is like, these are not, sorry. The fact that these characters are not real, it stings. It really stings because I'm thinking about them so fondly. And the way Binding 13 ended, I want to immediately read Keeping 13. But I should finish this first because I really want to get this vlog out. I do not have enough storage on my phone to do multiple videos at a time. So I've just been doing this vlog, focusing on this vlog, and that's why I haven't posted in a while. I really need to get these books read, but this is another 600-page book. Now that you guys know exactly how I'm feeling about Binding 13, we could talk a little bit about Nocticadia, which I have not read a ton of. I'm on page 50, and this book is 600, almost 700 pages, I'm pretty sure. 670-ish pages.
Girl, what?
Our main character, Lilia, watched her mother die a very traumatic death. Her mom had this, like, unheard of disease, and Lilia was driving herself crazy, like, researching, and she could not find anything on this disease. So she's basically made it her life's mission to go to school for research and find a cure for the disease that killed her mom, if that makes any sense. Sorry, I'm horrible at explaining stuff. Lilia goes to this community college and she's working a crappy job. She has kind of a shitty home life. And she's dealing with a lot of PTSD, seeing things that aren't actually there. She's kind of replaying her mom's death over and over, and she just has nightmares and whatever. In one of her classes, she has to write a paper about a made-up disease. So of course, because no one has believed her when she's talked about her mother's death, she writes about the disease that killed her mom. And her professor reads this essay and is like, hold up. He pulls Lilia aside and is like, this disease is actually real? Yeah. The professor's like, okay, well, I sent it to this Ivy League school called Dracadia, where they are the only school that is researching this disease that killed your mom. Coincidentally, they want you to go to this college, and they'll pay for your first semester of tuition and any travel expenses and living expenses. And she's like, so confused. She's like, okay. Suddenly, this school that I've wanted to go to is like reaching out to me and suddenly wants me as a student. And she's like, That's kind of where I've left off. She's trying to make a decision about if she wants to go. I'm assuming she goes. I'm pretty sure all of that is in the synopsis, by the way, so don't kill me. Pretty sure from there, a romance ensues between her and her professor. I think, honestly, I'll update when I get to, like, the halfway point of this book, unless there's something worth updating about. I'm just gonna try and binge this in the next few days, and I don't know. I hope you guys see this video soon. Okay. Cue the next montage. I am so bad at vlogging. I finished Nocticadia probably 2 weeks ago. I think maybe a week and a half ago. I know. And I'm actually 104 pages into Lightlark. So there's that. Thank goodness I've been reading. I basically read Nocticadia and didn't update you guys at all. And I actually really liked it. I can't remember what all I said about Nocticadia, but basically it's about this young girl, and by young I mean maybe she might be in her 20s, okay? And her mother died a very gruesome death. She was infected with this disease called Noctisama, yeah. And basically our main character Lilia ends up being accepted into this Ivy League school. It is the only place on earth basically that is researching this disease that killed her mom, Noctisama. And so she has this very grumpy professor. His name is Devrick. I don't remember his last name. Bramwell, Professor Bramwell. I think Professor Bramwell's father was the main source of funding for research on Noctisama. And of course, Lilia is trying to get on his good side because she really wants to work under him. You're getting a lot of information on her mom's backstory that Lilia was not even aware of. And I have to say the romance in this book was so good. I loved the spice. I loved the chemistry between both of our main characters. I loved Nocticadia. I honestly think Carrie Lake has such a beautiful writing style. It's so gothic and romantic. I'm also not opposed to read more of her books in the future. I love a good dark academia gothic romance. Yeah, it was everything. Lightlark. I honestly don't have any opinion of this book yet. I feel like everyone knows what Lightlark's about, but in case you don't, I'm just gonna read the back. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide. Each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves and their realms, one ruler must die. I've gotten little snippets of our love interests, but still nothing crazy yet. A few aspects of this book are reminding me of other romantasy books I've read, but that does not bug me. This reminds me of like Caraval and Powerless and Actar a little bit, but I feel like the more and more fantasy romance you read, the more all the books are going to start to seem a little bit the same or similar. And I feel like Alex Asser's even said this, but she put everything she loves about fantasy romance into her books. And I can totally feel that when I'm reading this book. So, like I said, I'm only 100 pages in and it's good. I think I could honestly finish it either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, just because I still have some homework I want to get done tonight. That's my check-in for you guys. I will let you know when I have updates about Lightlark. I think I'm finally ready to talk about Lightlark. It's been about an hour or two since I have finished this book, and the entire time I was reading this book, I felt super neutral about it. I wasn't not enjoying myself, but I also wasn't super connected to the story or any of the characters. This one just didn't do it for me, and I'm kind of bummed because I really wanted to like this series. My issues with this book were, like I said, I couldn't connect with the characters. I found it to be quite predictable. Maybe that is because I read a plethora of fantasy novels, but I predicted a lot of the twists and turns that happened in this book. And while I didn't know every tiny detail that was gonna happen, the major plot twists weren't super surprising to me because, like I said, it just felt predictable. I also think this book was marketed weird because in all of the videos I've seen of Alex Astor on Instagram or YouTube, she mentions trials, and I never once felt like these characters were going through trials. It doesn't explicitly say on the back of the book that they go through trials, so I don't know if maybe there's trials throughout the rest of the series, but this to me felt more like a quest. I don't know, there just was not a lot of depth within this world and within the characters. I didn't feel like we got a great chance to get to know any of the characters in this book. Anytime I buy a book and choose to read it, I of course am hoping that I will absolutely love it. I actually received Nightbane from the Libby app and I was going to read it on my Kindle, but I don't know if I want to continue the series. I think I might read the first few chapters and see how I'm feeling about the second book. But from what I hear, things kind of go downhill from this first book. I honestly don't see why there needed to be a second and even third and fourth and fifth book. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. I think this could have been a standalone, but we'll see. I'm gonna give the second book a go because I really want to make sure that it wasn't just me being in a weird reading mood. I want to make sure that I'm giving it a fair chance. And I do think Alex Astor's a really cute girl. Like, I see her all over Instagram promoting her book, and I feel a sense of pride for her and all she's accomplished as a new writer. That's really awesome. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Lightlark. That is not to say I did not like it. There were parts of this book that I did really enjoy. I like parts of the magic system, and I did really like the whole thing about the curses and all of the different realms and how their powers worked. I would really like to see that if I do end up reading the next two books. We have finally reached the end of this video and I couldn't be more happy. I feel like I've been filming this for a whole month. If I do film a part 2 to this video, it won't be for a while. But just know I have gotten messages back from more of the book girlies, so I'm still really excited. I just think I want to mood read for a little while before I start another reading vlog. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me these past few weeks, although for you guys it's been like a 30-minute video. I really appreciate you guys. I will see you hopefully very soon.